You know, it's the biggest thing that frustrates me is that I just feel like nobody cares right now until it affects them. And I don't understand how they don't see that. They're not dumb. These people aren't dumb. And they're not unkind people.
Ooh, Becky. I can't do that. Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. I am Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Do you believe that the Constitution grants everyone in our country the right to due process, including non-citizens?
The administration has the authority to.
Ma'am, I'm looking for a yes or no question. Yes or no. Do you believe the Constitution? Yes, ma'am. Do you,
we have not conducted
reclaiming my time, Mr. Chairman.
Time is yours.
Okay, Secretary Noem, I'm just looking for a yes or no here. Do you believe the Constitution guarantees due process to everyone in America?
Due process is exactly what this Congress lays out.
Yes or no? Okay, ma'am, I'll take that as a no.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now, you might remember just how excited some of the most misguided MAGAs were on the precipice of Trump's tariffs.
I truly wish more people understood the tariffs that President Trump is implementing. I wish more people knew what kind of freedom that's going to give the American people. President Trump is trying to use these tariffs to get rid of taxes. And I'm telling you guys, he is very smart. That's how the country was ran before taxes. I truly have a hard time understanding how anybody could be against that. I understand maybe not liking him, but who could be against getting rid of taxes? Who is against having more money in your pocket? The only people that could be against that are the people who has truly never paid taxes. Before you complain and talk about how terrible it is, give him the opportunity to show you.
Ain't it funny how the people who couldn't pay back their student loans or simply define what a man or woman were are suddenly experts on the economy, the stock market, and tariffs?
Trump's tariffs on Liberation Day is looking pretty good for the stock market. What do you think about that now, Dems? Let's go, boys.
Liberals are losing their mind over this tariff turbulence and the drop in the stock market. These Democrats claim they're for the common man, but over 90% of all stocks are owned by just 7% of the wealthiest Americans.
Trump is a businessman, not a politician, and he is standing on business with these tariffs. If you missed his liberation speech, Trump nailed it with these tariffs. Trump just proved to everyone that he is the ultimate negotiator because he came in at the perfect level. This is the chart of the reciprocal tariffs that he presented, and most of these are not even half of what the countries are charging us. And I know a lot of people thought that he was going to be like a bull running out the gate with these tariffs, but this is actually a great starting point. They're not so high that it would start a trade war and piss everybody off, and they're not so low that we're not getting anything out of the deal. This is the perfect starting number in order to bring these countries to the table so that we can renegotiate these tariffs. And that right there is the piece that the Democrats and the mainstream media have been missing this entire time.
All you people freaking out about the stock market, where were you when the stock market dropped under Joe Biden? Where? And it dropped a heck of a lot farther than it has under President Trump.
When Democrats say that Republicans are uneducated, what does that mean? Like, are the people who say that, are they living somewhere that isn't the South? I live in Southern Appalachia. It's almost entirely red here. All the Republicans I know, most of the Republicans I know went to college, have at least a bachelor's degree. Is that not educated anymore?
So when that stock market dips, it's them rich wallets that feel it, not the real working man or woman. Look, I could care less if Nancy Pelosi's portfolio takes a dip. And remember, Cupcake, it's not a profit or loss until you sell.
Yes, in the long term, Trump wants more products made in America so that we don't have this tariff issue in the future. But in the short term, this will bring the other countries back to the table. We can renegotiate the tariffs they have on us, and it will make our products cheaper now.
The stock market is going to gain and recover. It will gain and recover. Do you guys understand that the stock market is owned by less than 7% of the population? Do you realize that?
I know that you may want to believe that Trump is crashing the stock market as well as the economy, but guess what? He's actually resetting it. And although the elites may be panicking, the middle class might as well get prepared because we are about to experience one of the biggest wealth transfers that we have ever seen before.
Trump's sons are going to be the platform on which, I mean, you can't make the stuff up, dude.
There are dictators around the world looking at Trump going, this guy knows what he's doing. This is the kind of corruption we dream of doing. And like, what's remarkable about the Qatari plane, in the emoluments clause, it says you can't get anything from a king, a prince, or a foreign country. This is all three. Not into one plane. He's got everything. He's a king, a prince, and a foreign country. Give him a plane to fly around. No one, we've never heard of another president accepting a massive plane of $400 million from another country to play. You play with it for a few years, see if you like it, and you can buy it or not. Of course it's a bribe. It's transactional. Everything about the guy is transactional. So this is what's going on. And by the way, his kids just started a whole bunch of for-profit business and enterprises in that whole UAE, United Emirates area, and Saudi, and golf course. America is for sale to Donald Trump. We are living in a third world country. That's what it looks like. If you saw another country, you go, that's a corrupt country. If you say about America, you'd be right.
What Donald Trump is doing is something that none of us have ever seen before. And the reason for that is because this man is creating history. America is about to officially be back on the map as one of the wealthiest countries.
And do you also realize that the stock market does not dictate the economy? I know you're going to want to argue about that in the comments. I'm not even going to respond to you. It does not dictate our economy.
And these liberals have such a short memory, they either forget or ignore all those drastic market swings under Biden's leadership. Go back and look. There were radical plunges in the stock market during his policies, or lack thereof. Yet these liberals didn't question Joe's leadership, even when he couldn't put a coherent sentence together. And by the way, the stock market ain't the economy. President Trump is about policies that uplift the average American, not just suits on Wall Street. So let's just focus on the bigger picture and not get lost in this stock market soap opera.
We are about to bring manufacturing back to America again. We are about to bring so many jobs back to America again. Do y'all realize what this means? The fact that the American people have been taken advantage of for so long and no one has ever fought for us is absolutely diabolical to me. I know that many people may not agree with what it is that Donald Trump is doing, but all I gotta say is welcome to the Great Reset. America is definitely on its way to being great again. He did his big one with this one, y'all. I don't care what y'all say.
I mean, honestly, Trump kept saying short-term pain for long-term benefits. All I'm seeing is short-term benefits and long-term benefits. Mark my words, all it's going to take is one or two major countries coming out and lowering their tariffs on us, and the rest of the countries are going to fall in line. It is feeling like Liberation Day indeed.
You cry about President Trump and say he isn't following the law, he's breaking the law. Meanwhile, you expect our government to fund cities that are breaking the law. Make that make sense.
Tariffs can hurt the rich, but will help the majority of Americans, not just the elite. Tariffs are good for the American worker and the common man and woman.
Well, why don't we check in and see how they're doing?
I wanted Trump. You wanted Trump? Yep. There was no way in hell I wanted her out there.
That's how we starting. That's how we starting. There's no way in hell I would have wanted her out there. What would he have had to have done on paper to have made you react to him similarly as that? On paper, what would he have had to have done? Because most of the things that come to mind that would make me think I would never want him out there, he's done already. So why, ma'am, would you have never wanted her out there? Go ahead.
But now I don't know what would have been better.
Wait, she's a waitress? She's a waitress. As in the job that AOC used to do that the GOP and Maga, including Alina Habba, Trump's own personal lawyer, mock and make fun of her for.
And I love when AOC lectures Elon Musk about not being intelligent. I'm like, oh, she's such a genius. You know, I'm inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's
Calm
the only
down
thing
and
she
not
and
to
I
have
have
a
in
drink
common.
to serve one.
Exactly. All right.
They mock her for having been a waitress. You are a waitress. And there's no way you would have wanted her out there. You know what I mean? Oh, go ahead. No, play the video. No, I gotta slow cook this one. I gotta slow cook this one.
What were you expecting? I was expecting the lower cost of a lot of just your everyday living things and hoping that he would make things better for everybody in America because that's what we need.
I did say I was gonna slow cook it. I did. Yeah, I did. Go ahead.
Groceries are already outrageous. And then we put the tariffs on across the seas or whatever, like China, all that. It just makes everything more expensive for everybody.
I'll be honest. After listening to that, I'm actually impressed that she knows that tariffs were going to make things more expensive. I'm actually, you know what I mean? You gotta. I'm actually more impressed that she even knows that this is bad based on how she got here. You know what I mean? This is like taking the longest trip through ways through the worst neighborhoods in America, but actually getting to your destination.
Jamie Basinger is the only person we met in eastern South Dakota who openly questioned her own political views. Most people we talked to said it was risky to talk about politics here, even as the effects of Trump's tariffs loomed over the agricultural economy in an area that voted for him by about 70%.
So she's the independent thinker? She's the maverick, and we might be cooked.
Generally, opinions were divided between trust Trump's plan and how can you still like this guy.
Wait, so Becky, let me ask one thing. Are you in a politically mixed marriage?
Yeah, did you see the Joe Biden sign? Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
Becky Hofer was not afraid to talk. She's a Democrat, and her husband is a conservative non-voter. She's a freight broker. Basically, if a company needs to ship bricks, she'll find you a flatbed truck. If you need to ship meat, she'll get you a refrigerated truck.
Ooh, you need the truck tomorrow? Can you guys fork a pallet jack into the back of the trailer for him to pallet jack him to the front?
This gives her a window into real-time shifts in the economy.
Everybody's nervous. People are making different decisions for different reasons, but some of it's hesitation, some of it's actual price changes. Everybody just wants some stability right now.
And those shifts can be complex. She says China's retaliatory tariffs on American pork and beef could lead to higher prices on fruit.
Right now it's produce season in California. We need to get out to California. What goes out to California? Meat. We haul pork, we haul beef. Where does it go? It goes to Asia. If it doesn't go, the price of produce is going to go up even that much more because they're going to have to pay more for the trucks.
As we've talked about, you're in a really conservative area, very pro-Trump area. Do you feel frustrated in trying to talk to your neighbors about what's going on?
She feels frustrated going home and trying to talk to her husband about what's going on. Honestly, if I was in this situation, if I was in a mixed marriage, I would come home every night just What'd you say? What's for dinner? Oh, I can't afford that. Nah, we can't. You got that. Cause you knew better. Remember?
Yeah, you know, it's the biggest thing that frustrates me is that I just feel like nobody cares right now until it affects them. And I don't understand how they don't see that. They're not dumb. These people aren't dumb. And they're not unkind people.
Ooh, Becky. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. You just told me they don't care until it affects them. But they're not dumb and they're not unkind. Now, let's just examine that, because for you to not care until it affects you is to take an extremely myopic view of the way the world works. Remember that whole injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere? Yeah, there's a reason for that. Because people don't have rules and regulations for injustice. You let it go over there, it's coming over here. So I have to question the whole they're not dumb thing. Then as far as they're not unkind, what would you call a person that doesn't care until it affects them? I would literally put that under the definition of unkind. Hey, yeah, that's a problem. We can't put that under the definition of unkind, because that's already under the definition of Christian nationalists.
And selfish people. And thoughtless people, so I don't understand why they're okay with it.
Hofer introduced us to her neighbor Rod Olerud, who is feeding cattle and who, for now, is okay with it.
I just think we need to let the president do what he's doing, and we need to just see what's going to happen here and give him a little latitude so that, if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to try something different.
How you want to? Because he gonna ride, this is Biden's fault, as long as he gonna ride that for 3 years and 364 days, if possible. So I need to know exactly when and how you want to try something different.
Okay. So you're willing to let the president try some stuff to see?
Yes, to see if this works. Let's give the president a chance, and we'll just have to go from there.
Now that's funny that he's just willing to let the president try some stuff, because back during election time, the whole rhetoric was that she's out of pocket and they don't know our norms, and we need to get back to make America great again, right? We need to get back to our own customs and traditions and whatnot. Now that he's in office, though, hey, feel free to try some stuff. Last time I agreed to try some stuff, I woke up in the bushes outside the freshman dorm with no left shoe and a rat tail.
Tommy Baruth thinks we already give it a chance. He's a retired soybean farmer who saw what happened in 2018 when Trump put tariffs on China.
The export market just went right down the tube because these countries could buy them from other places cheaper. Brazil and other countries were the ones that benefited from that.
I read that it stayed that way, that now China buys a lot more from Brazil.
Exactly. And a lot of times those markets don't come back.
By the way, I got a video talking about the soybean situation as we check back up on the farmers. We had to check back on the farmers and see how exactly they was doing. It's really solid video, a whole bee situation called The Secret Garden. You might want to check that out, but just be forewarned, it wasn't pretty. And it's not just a bee farm.
Doug Bjerke runs a lawn mowing business.
Oh, I used to run a lawn mowing business, door to door. Oh, you have an actual. Oh, okay. Never mind. Check that, because I wasn't never registered.
He says Trump's plan will work out in the long term, even if some crop prices fall.
Yeah, the price might come down, but when them people start starving, they're going to come back to the table.
You mean in the other countries?
Yeah, we're a gracious nation feeding the world, and we shouldn't have to without getting something for it.
That is right. The graciousness of America feeding the world. Huh? What's that? hungry people downtown? Nah, see, because we feed the world. We don't feed local. We feed global.
Rick Ekman says in the 3 days after the tariffs, cattle futures dropped below the point of break even for his farm.
Never had him do this before.
Yeah, he really likes you.
Did you vote for Trump?
No. No, I did not.
Why not?
You want me to be truthful? I think to get to where he's at today, he's stepped on people and he's got no morals, I don't think. I don't like the man. I don't like him.
Why do you think so many of your neighbors do support him?
I don't know. I guess I don't see anything good about him.
Does it affect the way you think about America?
It scares me.
Thank you. Thank you. There's one. Hey, get him to run for office. Somebody needs to. I mean, really. Department of Education might not be coming back. Somebody got to learn, yeah?
This campaign is going to be about solutions and hope and how every single one of us in South Dakota can partner to be on meth. Really, the tagline is, I'm on meth.
I'm on meth.
So am I.
Meth is not someone else's problem. It's everyone in South Dakota's problem. And we need everyone to get on it.
I'm on it.
Terry Nebelsick, a lifelong Republican and retired school superintendent, was very careful in how he talked about the political climate. He's concerned that Trump's push to dissolve the Department of Education will cut public school funds for needy kids, potentially at a time of economic turmoil.
If poverty is happening to adults, children are hurting. And where adults sometimes just have to work through it and make sure there's food on the table. During that time, we have children and adolescents who are forming who they're going to be. And I do think that the public school is a collecting point for people to be able to reach those kids and make sure that they're fed and have medical attention and have their basic needs met.
I second that, and what we have seen from the right wing, right, and this place where roughly 70% of the people actually voted for Trump, what we have seen is Rich McCormick, one of their representatives, get up and say that kids on free lunch should be put to work.
When you talk about school lunches, hey, I worked my way through high school. I don't know about you, but I worked since I was, before I was even 13 years old. I was picking berries in the field before we had child labor laws that precluded that. I was a paper boy. And when I was in high school, I worked my entire way through. You're telling me that kids who stay at home, instead of going to work at Burger King and McDonald's during the summer, should stay at home and get their free lunch instead of going to work?
And the deconstruction of the Department of Education. That is what we have seen so far. 70%. But y'all for the kids, though.
Again and again, our conversations in this Midwestern nice town came back to character and values.
When Sheila and I raised our children, we taught them to be honest, not try to cheat anybody, to respect. Trump doesn't do any of those things.
Do you find a lot of farmers around here agree with you, or are they fans of Trump?
This is a very Republican state. I think it's too soon for them to say they're wrong.
What we waiting on? How long of a grace period did they give Joe Biden? Huh? No, I got you one better. How long of a grace period did they give Obama? Like an hour?
Ellie, I love the conversations that you are able to bring to us and bring to light. Given everything that we just saw, do the Trump supporters that you spoke to, do they regret their vote?
I get that question so much, particularly from people in bluer states, and again they say no.
Now let's review. You dealt with pain in the past. You disregarded that. Voted him back in, and you're hurting again. But you're okay with it, and you stand by your choice because of what he will deliver in the future. Despite what he delivered in the past, and he cannot be judged on the present. And by the way, he's the only one who can deliver in the future. And And you tell me this ain't a cult.
They really put a lot of faith in him. One man described him as courageous.
I know she didn't just say what I think she said.
They really put a lot of faith in him. One man described him as courageous.
I wonder how he would describe soldiers, like military officers. Like, how would you describe them? How would you describe people that are willing to leave office when they lost an election? How would you describe them? How would you describe people that are willing to admit fault and defeat ever, like at any point? How would you describe? I kind of need some more conversation with him, because I need to level set what courageous means. Like, where are firefighters? You know what I mean? I need to level set. In fact, where are all the people that are standing up to Trump right now? Where do they fall in the courageous scale? I need a level. I need some more conversation from that gentleman. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean that at all. He just misspelled contagious.
People have told me they're willing to take a serious financial hit to their own personal finances in order to let him do his thing.
Those are the people that I need to contact for my merch shop. Hey, you take my money, to do what needs to be done, right? Yeah. Please, by all means, find those people. I need to contact those people immediately.
Because they really have faith in him, that he's the only one willing to do what needs to be done.
To turn it around.
And apparently you never have to deliver anything. Nah, keep kicking the can down the road. I am the only one who can do what needs to be done. Just don't worry. Hey, yeah, I know you got me in office because you felt like you was taking a financial hit, but that financial hit feels a whole lot better now, don't it? Right? Yeah. Because this financial hit is red. See, the blue financial hit, you know what I mean? That's the financial hit. That one just stings a little harder. But the red financial hit, you know what I mean, gives you a little bit of pride that you are propping up America with your funds. But at the end of the day, the fact that you have this place where roughly 70% of the people voted for Trump, and they are dealing with the level of pain. Because one thing that I did not hear was anybody that was balling out of control. I ain't hear none of that. Hey, it's been amazing not one. I don't think I saw a smile. I don't think I saw anybody's face break in that entire video. And still, they land in a place of feeling no regret. And that is why I'm troubled. Oh, this is one of the troubled waters? Oh, who raised y'all? Oh, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That was a good call, because I don't know who raised them, quite frankly. I mean, really, you can't even do what's in your own best interest. And I don't see how it get better with no education. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Now, I know how much y'all like to jump in and out, but don't forget to subscribe to the page, because I know a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. And another way to get the word out is to like the video.
Words can't express the way I feel for you.
And yes, that includes those of you watching on television, although I recognize that might require a phone. And when you grab that phone, if you haven't already taken advantage of the discount that is still available, being as we're in the first month of our Patreon membership option, which is another option for those of you who want some of the extra content, some of the early access to the videos or the archives, all of that is available on the Patreon. And this is an excellent time because the first weekly newsletter, which is being offered as a part of that package, goes out this very week. So I'll see you guys over there in the community chat. And there hasn't been a single time that I've gone on that community chat and I haven't seen my girl Deshauna. So imagine my excitement when she sent me this. Oh, I absolutely love to see it. They threw the gauntlet down, Dank. I put up that picture of Dank, and now all of a sudden they coming for you. And not to be outdone, City Dawn sent me this one. I am so very appreciative of this kind of support. You can find all that you see and a whole lot more merch on my website, reesewaters.com. And once again, thank you guys for showing so much love.